Hi guys, we're going to be going into Galileo for kids again today, and we're going to be looking at some research stuff. We're going to click on Britannica, School Encyclopedia, or for elementary, and we're going to look just within here. One thing that I see students do all the time when they search and they get frustrated is they'll type in a whole question and expect the computer to do the thinking. So I might ask like, when did slavery begin in the United States? And we go ahead and hit enter. And a search like this in an encyclopedia, it's going to pull up different things that have those key words in them, not necessarily an answer to your question. It's not quite like Google. And even when you go to Google, it's going to give you, there's some limitations because it's going to pull up more like answers.com rather than reliable sources. The frustrating part of this is that I get here and I'm like, oh, Congress of the United States, what in the world does that have to do with it? And I just don't have a lot of good sources. A lot of times you can, because the way that computers work is they take every word that you type in, like when and did and begin and in, all those words that you typed in, the computer is looking for those words in articles and they're popping up. Most of those words pop up in these different articles, which is why they showed up. Your question did not necessarily come up there. So you could simplify your search a little bit sometimes. So you might type in slavery America. Okay, it narrows it down just a little bit here. Again, though, we're going to look at it and say, I'm not totally finding everything that I want. This is American Revolution, African American history. This might here is some about African Americans, some about Mississippi. My best article is probably just going to be about slavery. So we go up here and click on the slavery one. And then from here, we can look and kind of scroll up and down and see lives of slaves, the early slavery. Well, let's go back and find the beginning of it. Well, it goes way, way, way back. It's not necessarily in America. It talks about like hundreds or thousands of years ago. Enslaved Africans, well, that's who the slaves were. Here we go in here. It's talking about the 1500s. Kind of look at it. Hey, the first slaves in North America arrived. By simplifying our search, we found our answer. Now, if we want to find out more about this, because it's a very simple version, we might go back up to the top and change the reading level just a little bit. So right now we're set at level 1. If we go to level 2, it's going to take us to more of a middle school, and you'll see that it just changed from elementary to middle. It changes to a more middle school level, and it's got a lot more information here that you can kind of go through. And it has a lot of other stuff, but it's also got the slavery in America. So here we go, slavery in America. And again, we can do the search like we did in the last one. Type in the word America, and it'll take you to the section where it's talking about America. Okay, and you can kind of skip through and it'll pop you through there. So the moral story on this one is when you go to search, you want to keep it simple. Instead of writing a whole question, just type in slavery America. It might get you better results than asking a whole question like you might be able to do with